Look how excited I look, Sharon.
You look bright and fresh and happy.
I know.
Mind you, so does Tim.
Yes, absolutely. And we arrived in Skiathos, didn't we? We flew into Skiathos.
That's right. So these are the pictures of Skiathos.
Yes, we had a couple of hours wait for the ferry, I believe.
And we walked back into the town, didn't we? And it was absolutely delightful.
What a sweet little street as you come in. Oh, the kids. So when we arrived in Skiathos and we were walking around the town, we found this fabulous little cafe. And what did we have, Sharon?
Well, they seem to be very famous out there for their ice cream, because the beautiful soft scoop ice cream is everywhere that you look, isn't it?
Yes.
And myriads of flavours, just so many different flavours. And I had this scoop of cinnamon, and it was absolutely to die for. You just don't see that over here. So to have a whole bowl of this gorgeous brown, scrummy flavoured stuff was incredible.
Yes.
We all had a corner each, didn't we?
We did. We all had some, and we all had different flavours. And I can't for the life of me remember what all of the flavours were, but they were all delicious.
They were all scrumptious, because we all tried each other's, didn't we?
Absolutely.
Tim had, didn't he?
Yes, he did. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
I'm fond of that as well. Yes. Yeah. Yum.
Makes me hungry.
I know. No.
Now, our ferry was a little bit late, so it all got a bit jumbled and confused because we didn't end up going to where we were supposed to go in Skopelos, did we?
We didn't really know what we were doing, did we? We just did as we were told. We did what we were told.
We had no clue.
It was a lovely town, wasn't it? I really liked it. But this was delightful, wasn't it? Because we got on the ferry and it was just the sunset.
Yeah, that flight. Oh.
That's looking back at the airport, isn't it? And the distant hills.
It was a beautiful crossing.
Oh gosh, in that pink salmon sunset.
Yes.
It was beautiful, and it was warm, wasn't it? And just standing on the back of that boat, it was just, oh, there's my husband's ear on. Oh dear.
We arrived in Gloucester at dusk. And got to our accommodation, and this is the view that greeted us first thing in the morning.
And it was gorgeous, but we haven't told everybody about the drive up to the villa, have we?
Well, that might come in a minute. That's our villa. That's our villa, the one right at the top.
At the very, very top. And it was steep.
Our dear Cherry, who was such a lovely rep.
She was full of fun, and she was very, very knowledgeable. And she sat us down, didn't she, with a great big map, and talked us through the island, all the different venues where they had filmed this bit of the film and that bit of the film. And it was just great to think that we had only a week and we had all those lovely places to go and visit. No, she was great.
Well, yes.
Yes.
And she was really helpful, really friendly, and she looked after us beautifully.
Breakfast on the patio was divine. Greek yogurt, fresh fruit,
it's all right, though. You can
honey.
Sharon,
my face. My face. The water felt chilly, didn't it, to get into it? But yeah, once you were in, it was divine. I couldn't get out of it, actually. I came out quite peely skinned.
Okay, so Sharon, what are you eating?
Well, I'm just trying to stop the wind from grabbing everything. Thank you. Baklava.
It's the first one of the week.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Score out of 10?
8. I can't say any more than that because I'm anticipating some in restaurants for dessert.
So we
you know, you would think, wouldn't you, that rather than mass produce,
supermarket baklava is not going to be the best, is it?
It's not bad, I'll tell you. It's I think there's mixed spice in there, don't you?
Certainly a flavour.
There's a flavour in there, and I think that's all spice or mixed spice. It's very nice. Cheers.
Cheers. Wasn't it just glorious, that view? We sat and looked out there a lot, didn't we?
There's a haze coming over tonight, Tim.
This is Skopelos town in the evening when we went out for dinner. And it was so warm down there, and the first couple of days particularly, it was just beautifully warm. And you lot look like I've caught you out doing something there.
You may well have done.
So this was on our day, the first day we went travelling.
So we went out, didn't we, for a drive around the island and just travelled the coastal road.
Yes.
Stopped to take photographs, and it was absolutely lovely.
So this was Agnondas, and we spent quite a bit of time here in the end, didn't we?
Well, we loved the restaurant, didn't we? It was scrummy.
Yes. And that sea colour, we decided, matched perfectly with our nails.
It did too, didn't it?
And how?
That was quite bizarre. It was beautiful, wasn't it? That gorgeous tropical blue.
Yes. Not a bad cup of coffee
nice
either.
Coffee.
Yes.
Yeah, nice coffees.
Now this was one of the locations for Mamma Mia, wasn't it?
It was indeed, yes, because we had the pier there.
Yes. And we'll take you onto that dock in a little bit and tell you more about it and show you the beautiful colour of the sea by the shore there. And the whole cafe restaurant was built around this giant old tree, and they built it around the trunk, which was fab. So we went on to Limnanari, and again another beautiful little bay.
Yep.
Just down the end of this road. Was just such a pretty little place. Tim decided he was going to pull the plug on the med.
I wonder what that was in there. He found this piece of string, didn't he, on the beach, which was obviously from the boat.
Yes.
But it wasn't going to come away, was it?
No, he was pretending he could pull the plug.
Mm.
It's just again exploring along the coastline. I've no idea where half these places are.
Nothing there, was there really? That's the point. It was just so beautifully quiet.
Yes. Well, this was Castani, and this was another one of the filming locations. And at Castani, it was Lay All Your Love on Me, and they had a temporary jetty here where all the boys with the flippers on jumped into the water.
That's right. They built it just for the film, didn't they?
Yes. On that beach, they also built a beach bar. They built a beach bar there where they did the Does Your Mother Know? That was also on that beach.
That's right.
And then the olive groves were right next door to the beach, and that was where she sat on the donkey and walked through just before the wedding.
That's right. We need to tell people how old the trees are.
Well, How old do you think the trees are?
Well, I reckon that I think that these larger trees were hundreds of years old. I mean, the smaller ones obviously much younger, but this isn't a particularly large tree. Some of them were even bigger than that, weren't they?
I reckon some of them were up to 1,000 years old. They were huge.
I wouldn't be surprised. So this is looking down, isn't it, from our bedrooms onto the.
Another day and another fabulous breakfast. We were really enjoying this food. And this time, this was Glisteri Beach.
That was lovely.
It was beautiful. We had a nice swim here, didn't we?
Lovely. Had to get changed round the corner, down the back, sideways on the beach somewhere, didn't we?
Good morning, beautiful Sharon.
Good morning.
How are we today?
We're fine, thank you.
Look at the colour of that water you're in, Sharon.
I know.
Just amazing. And then we came back to Agnondas because we wanted lunch.
And it was scrummy, wasn't it? Absolutely.
It was a lunch and a half. And that looks like Tim's got a cheesecake, but he hasn't. It's actually a salad.
I had prawns that day and cream sauce. Oh, they were scrumptious. Great big fat prawns. And of course, we went and stirred on the pier, didn't we?
All right then, everybody, here we are. We're on one of the docks used in the film, and you can see it behind us. Here we go. In the most beautiful bay you can imagine. Where are we?
I can't remember, but I'll write it up. But it is, we've had the most amazing fish lunch. It was just delicious, wasn't it?
I had, what did I have? I had prawns. They called them shrimps, but shrimps at home are little tiny things like this. So we had prawns, and it was in ouzo with fennel and cheese and tomato. Absolutely divine, lovely.
And I had calamari, and we had a big salad and chips.
Big Greek salad, lovely. Lots
Beautiful,
of tomatoes.
beautiful. And the colour of the water behind us. If you go the other way, the other way, the other way.
Oh, I want to see that sunshine.
Oh, I know. Look at the colour of that water. How amazing.
Look at that.
Yes, and that sunshine is stunning as well. That's sparkle.
Twinkling on the water. Look,
We'll disappear into silhouette, but who cares? What a lovely day.
Absolutely.
Yes. See you later. Oh yes, yeah. Tim went and lay down on the beach, and a cat just crawled up to him, curled up under his armpit, and went straight to sleep, snuggled right into him.
Oh, that's so sweet.
So we're sat down, and we're painting in this beautiful little bay. We stopped here for a little bit of painting. This wasn't an official painting session. This was just whilst the boys, I think Tim went swimming, didn't he?
Yeah.
So we thought, right, make most of it, and let's take the opportunity to get a little bit of painting down. So you chose to paint the dock, which I wish I'd done in the end, because we never got back to doing it. But
shame.
I think this is the dock that they used at the end of the film when they get on the boat and go out to when the dads go home, or Sophie goes off right at the end of the film in moonlight.
Yeah.
I think this was filmed here.
Trying to get the colour of that sea there.
I know, it was just beautiful, wasn't it? It was very green, but it was a very odd green. It was a turquoisey green.
So I'm presuming it isn't algae in the water, is it though? Because there's nothing there. So it's just reflection from the trees, I suppose.
Yes, I imagine so, yes.
And this was your painting.
Yeah. So I was painting the view, because I was quite fascinated by the progression of the colour in the hills, where they got progressively faded into the distance.
Very beautiful.
But we've both done full versions of these paintings on our own YouTube channels, so you can go and have a watch of the whole paintings. We're just going to show you some highlights here, just to tempt you.
It's lovely, isn't it? As you recreate it like that, I can imagine it in my mind's eye. This is the grand thing about painting like this. A photo's one thing, but to actually sit there and to absorb it, to smell it, to see it, to hear it, that all comes back, doesn't it, when you paint again?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Your memory is more fixed in your mind when you've sat and painted it, because you've had to look at it in a different way.
Yeah.
You got that colour beautifully in that water, Sharon.
It really was that colour, wasn't it? I mean, it was quite stunning, really. And the trees were that acid green that you only really see in the spring in this country, you know, the new leaves. But the fir trees,
the sort of fresh pine,
they were incredible. Knock your eyes out, actually, really bright.
Dry brushing going on.
You can't beat a bit of dry brush. Now this is where I got myself in a real twist with all the supports for the pier. You've got this side and the other side, and there were bits and pieces where it had been repaired. I didn't know whether I was coming or going. So you're using a nice flat brush there.
Whatever happened. Yeah, I'm just using it to create some of those flat ripples on the surface.
Bit of movement.
It looks like you've worked it out, Sharon.
And then you do all that and think to yourself, I know exactly what I did here, because I did all that and then thought, put these shadows in the water. You have to be really, really careful then. Yeah, that's nice.
Trying a different way of putting some ripples
I
on.
adore those two blues you've got in the background, the kind of French ultramarine, and then the colour in front of it. Those two blues are gorgeous.
That was a bit of peacock blue.
Oh, really nice, yeah. It lends itself very well to the sea, Mediterranean and Aegean, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Really rather gorgeous. Greece fascinates me. It's all the history that's there, and all the myths and the legends. You know, the Homers and Achilles, and I just love all that.
It's fascinating, isn't it? And it's just eons of time.
Yeah.
There are our pictures, so don't forget to go to our own YouTube channels to watch the videos in full. It looks like Tim's trying to escape. Were you having to hold him back?
Look at that sky. If you had talked about how to paint a sky, look how that everything goes into that hillside. Just amazing.
But the clouds just funneled everything back to the town, didn't they?
Back to the town and the sunset, that pink in the sky that's right above the top of the town there on the mountainside. And if you'd have said to somebody, you know, design it so that the clouds radiate out from the focal point, there it is. And nature's doing it all on its own. With those little gold hints down there. This particular evening, I couldn't stop photographing the sky. I just wanted more and more and more. I love these colours.
Was this the warm evening, Sharon?
I think it may well have been. We went down into the town, didn't we? And it was fine. We didn't think much of it. We just had our supper, didn't we? And got back in the car and drove back up to the villa, up the precipitous journey, this hillside, which should have had steps in it.
Which you'll see in a minute.
And it was scorching, wasn't it? A wind had gotten up whilst we'd been out eating, and my brain could not comprehend the fact that it was windy and it was burning hot, and it was so uncomfortable in bed that night, wasn't it? We had to have the shutters closed because of the wind and the noise, but it was burning hot. It was like being in the desert. I've never experienced anything like it, and it wasn't hot like that down below. down in the
No,
town.
it was odd that it was just
Only
up
in
on
the
the hilltop,
hillsides,
wasn't
yeah.
it? Yes. Yeah.
Bizarre.
Anyway, continuing. So again, this was all back down. And this was a windy day down in
Look at your
Skopelos
hair.
town, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I know. I know.
Nearly got blown off this pier when we walked along it.
Yeah. Yeah. Put a head above the
Yeah.
parapet, wasn't it?
Yeah. But you can see from people walking along the street how we're under waves there on the sea.
Yeah.
Because at one point,
Well, this ferry came in and did a three-point turn in here, and just listen to the masts, the flapping of the masts.
the wind itself and the waves that were bashing up against the water's edge, against the sea wall, just stunning, really.
We found this amazing cafe that was just sheltered from the wind, and we sat here and had some more amazing coffee, and we tried the local delicacy, which is Skopelos cheese pie. And for those of you who know, you know it's phyllo pastry and feta, and it's crispy and delicious. Yes. So this is just a tour around Skopelos, isn't it?
Yeah, we went.
You and I went shopping,
didn't we? Did a bit of shopping. Left the boys on their own. And here is the drive up to the villa, and you can see.
I had to include it.
Well, it was very steep. I'm not quite sure that this portrays how steep it really was.
Really give you the impression of how steep it is, doesn't it?
Well, the point in the back of the car, you did say you felt like you were laying
Yes,
down.
I genuinely don't think that I could have walked either up it or down it, because I think that your feet and that angle don't work together. You'd have had to have either done it backwards or done it sideways, wouldn't you? I genuinely don't think
Something like that.
my feet would have walked that in that way.
So this is Glossa. This is where we'd come in with a ferry, a hilltop town, which was just beautiful.
Love this morning. It was just steep and hilly, and there were houses built on houses, weren't there?
Yes.
Can't tell you what it was like. You can see the depth of field there and how one house is just on top of another.
And it goes up and up and up.
Beautiful bougainvillea.
Delicate, pretty colour, wasn't it? It was absolutely gorgeous. We took lots of photographs of this as well. And the brown ones, I believe, are the bracts that have gone over. But it's such an unusual colour. I don't think I've ever seen one this delicate a pink before.
Listen. Perry Pussy. Here's the other one coming, look. Oh, and a ginger's coming up to see you.
More, have we? You'll all get a hug, I promise. Hello. You're pretty.
Pied Piper.
Mad cat lady, look.
You called me a mad cat lady, Sharon. What can I say?
We'll wait till the ginger gets up here.
Oh, look. You're all so beautiful. Hello. Oh, fluffy too.
That one's punched off.
They were just so friendly, weren't they?
You're going to get bitten.
Doesn't know how to cope with that, look.
You're going to get bitten.
I think Tim was a Pied Piper as well. Oh,
I think that was a case of you are awful, but I like it.
when we sat down, we were just smothered in cats, weren't we, really?
We were all very
They
happy.
knew we were catty people, and everywhere we went, the cats turned up.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely.
You don't want that view.
That's very polite in cat behaviour.
Well,
you know?
yes. Your face says to me, I'm taking this one home.
How big's my handbag? Nice cups of coffee. Is this is where we had a fantastic
Gloucester.
meal, isn't it?
Yes, we're coming to the little cafe and with the view. We had a lovely walk around Gloucester, up and down the little alleyways, and it was a shame in a way that so much of it was closed down for the season. There was a few shops we would have liked to have had a mooch through, but we had a really nice mooch around in a really pretty little village.
Look at all these
More cats.
dog. There are thousands of paintings here, aren't there? Pomegranates, and they were bursting on the trees, weren't they?
Literally bursting. We never knew what these were, but they were rather beautiful.
Look at that doorway. Oh, here was
This is where we had the lunch.
Nice lunch.
And we enjoyed it so much that we took no video footage of the lunch or any photographs, so you just have to take our word for it. And then we went to this little church, and it's where they filmed the wedding scenes in Mamma Mia. Can you remember the smell from that honeysuckle?
Yes. Magical. We couldn't work out at first what it was, could we?
No, it's just perfume
and this
everywhere.
Looks like wood, but it isn't. It's the rock and the formations in the rock.
So we stopped here and painted, and there is a complete episode separately. So that's going to be on the YouTube channel as well. The views from up here are just spectacular.
This is your Tim, isn't it, who walked up here?
Yes. Whilst we sat there and painted. Now the next day we went back for more coffee.
Not a bad little coffee stop.
Because they did do a very, very good coffee. And we were going on an adventure to somewhere slightly different. And we were going out to, what was it called? Cape Amarandos.
That was beautiful, wasn't it? Absolutely beautiful.
I think I thought this was the prettiest spot on the island.
2 little trees. And we walked out to it, didn't we? And it's neat chalk, isn't it? The ground, as you can see here, it's just neat chalk. And we had the surprise of our life because we discovered a hammock between the 2 trees, didn't we? Folded over and wrapped up with somebody in it.
Swinging away. We were going to take pictures here because, of course, this is where Sophie and her dad's had their picnic in the film.
So we just decided stuff it and got on with it, didn't we? And whoever was in
Absolutely
the just had to put up with us. They didn't put their head out, did they? I think this place had a wonderful feel.
It's magical, wasn't it?
There was something about it, yes. You know, right there on that little bit of a peninsula, it was quite incredible, really.
And so pretty. Now
Mm.
here, we've got all of those little dots that you can see. Every single one of them was a beehive, and it went all the way along the peninsula.
Hundreds and hundreds of them.
Yeah. So, and the local honey was fabulous, which we
Yes,
picked a fair bit of,
we were eating it for breakfast, weren't we?
and lunch and dinner, and whenever we felt like it. Say goodbye.
We said goodbye to our villa. We said goodbye to our dear Cherry.
We sailed away
Said
on our
goodbye
ferry.
to the lovely island. Yeah.
We ended up getting the ferry out of Agnondas because it was too windy to go out Skopelos town, wasn't it?
Well, at one point they were threatening that we'd have to leave early, weren't they?
Yes. We came back into Skiathos. Now do you remember that runway, Sharon?
Yes, I do. It had a lump in the middle of it.
The weirdest runway on a hill that you can
When that
imagine.
pilot landed that plane on that runway and hit that lump, I thought the end of the world had come. I've never ever been jolted like that on a plane. I mean, all the other people on the plane were all going, "Oh," weren't they?
Yes, absolutely, yes.
He threw it at the runway, slammed the brakes on.
But didn't we have the most glorious flight home?
Yeah, we were lucky, weren't we? Yes, we were lucky. Absolutely gorgeous.
You and I took photographs all the way home.
All right. Look at that for a volcanic caldera. Look, incredible. And I think we actually flew over Santorini, didn't we? Because we saw
So,
the volcanic water and the
yes.
land around it. Mm.
And so we are back home.